Welcome, everyone, back to Mom with Mom's podcast. It is kind of dreary November day. I was driving over here today thinking of all the millions of things that I have to do. We kind of close out October, and it's like Halloween's over and Christmas is now here.
It's all over the stores.
Which is so sad because, I mean, not sad, but, it's like, okay, what's next? My daughter the school nurse called at 11 and said, Grace isn't feeling well. I was like, of course she is, because I have to go somewhere. So my son, who goes to Brookdale, the power was out, so he was conveniently home. So I'm like, okay, you're babysitting. So it was just complete chaos. And I was thinking in my head, like, okay, I got to run here. I got to do this. Friday, we have a gala that we're attending. I have nothing to wear to that. And I'm like, but then Saturday, I think I'll get a break. Like, and you're always like thinking about like when your downtime is next. And I just don't think it exists anymore. It's just insanity. But anyway, we're here, excited to be back here at Bellworks. Had a great event on October 30th, the Mom with Mom's Halloween Spectacular, which went very well, and now we're gearing up for our next event, which is in 5 weeks from now. So our holiday event, we'll talk a little bit about that later. But I'd like to welcome Heather Coburn to the podcast. She is the CEO of the Girl Scouts, the new CEO of the Girl Scouts of the Jersey Shore. Thank you for joining us today.
No, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
My voice is a little raspy. I'm also recovering from a little sinus infection that I had, so I just sound very sexy today.
It's a great radio voice.
So Heather, thanks for joining. Tell me, where are you from?
I am from Freehold. Actually, I was born in North Jersey. When my parents got divorced, we moved down to the Freehold area. I lived in Freehold for most of my life, went to college at the University of Delaware, and then came back to New Jersey, and I lived in Long Branch up until about 8 years ago.
Wow. So you went to, is it Freehold Township High School?
Freehold Township High School, yeah.
Okay. They have a lot of elementary schools in Freehold, right?
They have a ton of elementary schools in Freehold.
It's a pretty big town.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now I live in Brick, which also has a ton of elementary schools.
Oh, do they?
So, yes.
Okay.
So it is interesting.
Where Monmouth is also now overseeing and working on Ocean County moms as well. So I'm getting to know the lay of the land in Brick and Toms River and Jackson. And yeah, it's a great area.
I'm learning the lay of the land myself,
Sure.
being a Monmouth County girl for most of my life. And where I live in Brick is just over the Monmouth County border, so I still haven't really fully dove into
explored.
Yeah.
Do you get lost a lot?
70 is great because it's a pretty easy run and you can get pretty much to everywhere from there.
Okay.
So
that's
helpful.
Yeah, I know 70. Yeah. I know like the River Rock and
Yeah.
we go to Seagirt Beach, during the summer. And now my mother-in-law she just moved to Brick almost 2 years ago. My brother-in-law lives in Wall, so we spend nice amount of time. And I love Manasquan and Brielle. That's such a nice area. So much to do, especially in the summer months.
Absolutely.
So you are a mom.
I am a mom.
How many kids do you have?
I have just one.
One.
She is 7.
Okay.
And she is really just like, I know we all say this, but she is the light of my life. She is my reason for everything. So, and she's my mini person.
I love that. I have my daughters. I feel very, very similarly. It's just she's 8. Well, she's not even 8. She'll be 8 in 2 weeks.
See, there you go.
And I completely understand. But I do have other children. But it's something about the daughters. It's just
there's something about the daughters, and I've recently come upon the right word to describe her, which is spirited.
Yes.
I have a lot of other words that I would use to describe her, but that's like the most PC word when I'm out in public, right? She's a very spirited child. So.
Oh my gosh, hysterical.
Yeah, it's got lots of personality.
In first or second grade?
She's in second grade.
Okay,
and
so
she's a brownie.
Too.
So.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Grace just joined. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Great.
But she just joined this year, and it's been an incredible experience so far. They actually did one of their trips to my event on Sunday. So.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it was a good time for them. So they're getting to know each other and exploring all
We
the
do
different
love that.
patch opportunities.
And they're endless,
Right.
really. There are so many things, and Carla always laughs when I say this, but the good thing about Girl Scouts, especially for the younger ages, is it's like hiding the vegetables, right? Because they learn in school and all their extracurricular activities. They're still learning in Girl Scouts, but we try to make it fun
Right.
and different ways of teaching them things. And before they know it, they've learned skills and earned badges, and they were just having a good time doing it.
Yeah, and it's great for the parents too. My son, when he was growing up, he did Boy Scouts for many years, and it was nice. I brought him to most of the events. I was a single mom at the time, and then if they did any like camping, usually the dads would just bring them, and I obviously wouldn't attend that, but it was a great experience, and I always found that it kind of even if we hadn't planned to do something for the weekend, it almost like not forced us, but like really brought us to places that we necessarily wouldn't have gone to.
Absolutely.
And two, like with Grace now, I'd imagine that will start to happen. It's funny, a lot of parents assume that I go to a lot of things because I'm, always talking
Right.
about resources, but it's a double-edged sword because the amount of time that it takes to put all of the activities and events and resources together on the site it takes a long time. So most of the time I'm actually behind a laptop. So sometimes I'll actually read my own roundup. I'm like, what is happening like this weekend?
What is going
But
on?
so I think it'll be good. We'll be able to do things as just obviously with the girls, but for the moms too is nice. So
Well, it'll be a lot of fun. And I think, like you said before, too, it's so funny about finding the downtime. And I'm really trying harder to do that, right? Like
Right.
looking at a couple weeks ahead and saying, all right, these are going to be crazy. So today I'm going to shut it off at 5 o'clock. It
Right.
doesn't always happen, but we try,
Oh,
right?
we do try. I keep telling myself that. So you went to the University of Delaware, and what was your major?
Psychology.
Okay. And what was your background? Where did you work leading up to
So
this
I
position?
actually worked in a bunch of different positions, management positions. I worked at a mortgage company for quite a long time, and I decided that when I had the opportunity when I got pregnant with my daughter to actually take some time off and really enjoy that. Of course, did crazy things like sold my house while we were doing that, and I had an appendectomy when I was 8 months pregnant. So not having to work
Wow.
worked out really well for me.
Okay.
And then I just wanted to spend time with her, but then the CEO at the time, at Girl Scouts, who I had known kind of socially, my sister actually worked for our council way back when, and she called me and said, I heard you're not working. My assistant is retiring. Do you want a job?
Oh, interesting.
And it was never really one to turn down a good opportunity, one that fit with my schedule. So even though I wasn't really ready to leave my daughter, I think I cried every day for the first 2 weeks, but she had a great time. I
Right.
mean, if she was 8 months, she didn't know, but turns out she's still really good friends with all of those kids she was in preschool with. And obviously, it was a good move for me because it brought me to where I am now.
Right, right. So you recently took over as the new CEO of the Girl Scouts of the Jersey Shore. Tell us a little bit about the organization. The Girl Scouts of the Jersey Shore covers Monmouth and Ocean County.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, I know it's really an incredible organization. Just working with the Girl Scouts for the last year and everything that you do, the camps, it's very robust. I'd say.
Absolutely, and I do love to hear that. On a high level, our mission is to build girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. So you really can't argue with that. It's pretty easy to get up every day and be excited to go to work.
Right.
All of our badges are based on curriculum. We have 4 pillars: outdoors, STEM, life skills, and entrepreneur. So, I mean, we really, like you said, robust. We cover everything. And, we just really want to set girls up to be our future leaders, to teach them all we can. Another big thing is friendships. The friendships and the relationships that our girls make through Girl Scouts. And again, not just with girls. Camp is a really wonderful experience for our girls, and the relationships that they build with the camp counselors and just really our staff. We're always really present whenever we get a chance because camp is kind of in our backyard. We go and take visits. So it's just, I think an overall wonderful experience for our girls, and just teaching them to be strong, positive, and role models.
Yeah. Teach kindness. Teach.
Absolutely.
Touched on this before, but I love that Girl Scouts promotes and kind of encourages girls to take entrepreneurial opportunities at hand and really run with them. I think it's really important, and especially now when you see more and more women starting their own businesses, but not every girl growing up is kind of exposed or even really thinks that that's within reach or that's possible for her. And I love that it really kind of sets like that foundation and the platform to really understand what it takes, and that you really have to work for the cookie sales and just like all the different things that are taught within the group. It's a really great tool. So
Absolutely. Cookie sales are, I mean, and that's a big thing, right? Everybody knows Girl Scouts for their cookies, but they don't necessarily understand what it does for our girls.
Sure.
And even myself, working for Girl Scouts, but then my daughter's finally old enough and she's a daisy and we're going to go out there. And I was so not prepared for all that it was.
Sure.
And even at a young age, it's more than just, them smiling and asking them. It teaches them social skills. For someone my daughter's age, teaching them how to make change for people, obviously it's easy math, but for a 5-year-old, not necessarily. And so I just think that it's so much more than just a box of cookies,
Right.
which is really important for
Right.
people to understand.
So outside of cookies, which is probably what comes to mind when most people think about Girl Scouts, and naturally so, what else are Girl Scouts involved in this time of year?
Sure. This time of year, so we actually do have an entirely different product sale program that happens in the fall. So that is our nuts, chocolate, and magazines. It's a smaller sale, but really just to keep the girls engaged, but also it helps them with affording to have opportunities such as travel. We do give travel scholarships to our girls. So if they participate in both sales, they can earn money and help them. They can even earn money to send themselves to camp during the summer. So we know that's not always easy. And this time of year, we follow the school year pretty much. So
Right.
everything is kind of kicking off. We just had a really great spooktacular program at our camps. It's a fun
saw that.
Halloween.
Yeah.
We have a Grinchmas program coming up. And right now, too, we're really, as Girl Scouts, taking a focus on the mental health crisis that we're facing right now and trying to find our place and our voice and how we can be there for our girls and our leaders and even the parents because they all know that they need a safe space and we believe that Girl Scouts is that safe space. So just
Right.
trying to navigate how we're there for them, what kind of resources we can give them and the information and what we can learn along the way too. Because we
Right.
do think it's really important.
Yeah, it is important. So the girls can start as daisies. They become brownies, and then they're Girl Scouts for a long time. When they get older, how does it kind of progress into what they focus on, and do they still get together as a group?
We do actually have some. It may not be the norm. Finding a troop that kind of follows the progression from a daisy all the way to ambassador, which are our oldest Girl Scouts, can be difficult because life gets in the way, right?
Okay.
And finding and prioritizing. So we have what are called Juliets. They're independent Girl Scouts. Juliet Gordon Lowe is our founder. So Juliets is what we call our independent Girl Scouts. So they can still have the Girl Scout experience, but they get to tailor it to what works for them. Maybe they sell cookies. Maybe they don't. Maybe they come to our big council events. We do have higher awards, which is really important. The highest award that a Girl Scout can earn is the Gold Award. And it really is an incredible, long-lasting, impact-focused award for these girls that really you can see our future leaders kind of come to shape there. We've had girls that have created coloring books to talk about littering, girls that have created road safety for bicycles, girls that took a 3D printer and created prosthetic limbs, and someone who opened a health clinic in their family's hometown in India. So it's absolutely amazing what these girls accomplish. It's fantastic for their future, for their resumes, for applications,
It's
anything.
great for
I
college,
mean,
yeah.
it just, we take the life skills and just really crank up the volume when they get older, right? And just teach them everything they need to know to become successful after they graduate.
Wow. And so how does Girl Scouts provide the Juliets with the resources in order to create a coloring book? Are they responsible to figure like all of it out, or do you kind of help them?
Sure. So we do have a committee, and every girl is assigned a mentor that has some specific knowledge to that actual program. But it is girl led. It is their ideas and innovation. We will help guide them and give them the resources, but it's their project.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
incredible. So when they're young, they're starting out as daisies, or even getting into it like as a brownie in second grade maybe. They join the troop, and so like I'll just kind of speak from our experience so far. It's been really great. We have a tremendous leader. We're very lucky. The girls really love getting together. They all do go to school together, but they're really like excited to have the meetings. And then so far they've done one trip a month. Is that the norm? Do like the girls meet like more than once a month sometimes? It
really all depends. On the troop and the troop leader.
Okay.
We have some that meet twice a month, some that really do meet monthly, some that I would estimate meet probably every week just to do different things,
Right.
because the girls have become such a close knit. So even if they're just decide that they want to go do something randomly on a Saturday, it turns almost into a Girl Scout trip, right?
Okay.
Or like a meeting.
Right.
So
And then in winter months, when does the cookie sale start? In January, right?
January, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So cookies are in the spring. And then I know you have these incredible camps that are in
We do.
Farmingdale and also in Ocean County.
Waretown, yes.
Fairtown, thank you. So tell us a little bit about the camps.
Sure. So, as you said, we have two of them. Camp Sacagawea is in Farmingdale. It's 140 acres. Just an enormous camp. It's beautiful. And then we have Camp Amity Acres down in Waretown. It's a little bit smaller, just a really nice intimate camp. It's about 60 acres. Both do share a lot of common elements. There's boating, canoeing, rock climbing, ropes elements. At both camps this year, we just put a new element in called the flying squirrel.
Wow.
I'm not even sure I could describe it to you. You have to come see it in
Right.
action, but it's pretty fun, and it's all about team building. That's what the ropes courses are about, just working together as a team as opposed to someone just going and doing something fun on their own. There's archery. There's crafts, of course, for the younger girls. They really do enjoy that. There's camp cookouts, cooking clubs, everything you could possibly think of. We have a pool at Camp Sacagawea, and then we have a lake that the girls swim in down at Amity Acres. And then, of course, throughout the 9 weeks, each week they do have the opportunity to earn a badge as well. And again,
wow.
in a fun way. So the summer ended, they had a great time, and they earned 9 badges potentially if they come all summer.
Wow, interesting. And siblings can also join. You don't
Yes.
necessarily have to be a Girl Scout to attend the camp as well. right?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
And for the little ones, as long as they are potty trained, they can come and join us. And then as they get older, obviously, we have opportunities for them to be counselors in training, and then hopefully one day official counselors, which we do have quite a few of those that have really just kind of climbed the ranks and gone from camper to CIT to full-time counselor, which is great.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
And it's nice, too, that you offer the sibling opportunity because parents, sometimes don't want to have to juggle dropping one at one camp and another at another camp. So it's great that, they can go and enjoy the camps together. I've heard nothing but great things, so I'm excited to look
Hopefully
into
Grace
that.
can,
hopefully this
can come
summer.
visit us
I think
this summer.
this summer's the summer that I'm going to say, okay, you're going to camp.
And even if she's not, so my daughter resisted me, you would think, growing up in Girl Scouts, really.
Yeah.
And she's, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And I just had a day this summer and I was like, I need to do something with you. And she knows all the staff. I said, if you can just go hang out with them for a half an hour and I'll come grab you. She came running into the office at the end of the day, just completely filthy. And
Yes,
just,
those are the best days.
I loved it. Can I go back tomorrow?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah. So I
yes.
just think anyone should just give it an opportunity and they will absolutely love it.
I love it. So I know Girl Scouts is also really, really involved in the community, giving back. You have all kinds of different initiatives that I see throughout the year. Women under 40, Phenom Women Under 40, is I'm butchering it?
You're very close. Phenomenal
Very close.
Women Under 40.
Thank you. Okay.
Absolutely. So we do have 4 fundraising events that we do. I mean, we have so many events throughout the year, but those are 4 official. So we have our Phenomenal Women Under 40. We have our Top Cookie event, which is lots of fun. We have competitors from Monmouth and Ocean County come.
I love
They
Top
do
Cookie. I went
kind
last
of
year. Was it this year?
Yeah, it was still this year. I know. We're like into
Yeah,
next year
I'm
in
in
our brain.
2023
Yeah,
already.
exactly. It is so much fun. You know, they do a
awesome.
blind choice of a Girl Scout cookie, and they have to recreate a new recipe using that. So much fun. At the Asbury Lane's also a
It was a great
fantastic
night.
place.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we have our Women of Distinction and Community Partners Gala. That is probably our largest fundraising event, and then we round it off with a golf outing.
Okay, and that's coming up.
Yeah, so they're all starting next year. We're
Okay.
done officially
Done.
for that. We do have our girl events, and our silver award, gold award, bronze award ceremonies. Bronze and silver happen in the fall and winter, and then we have gold in the summer. But we have Top Cookie in February. March, sorry. We have gala in April, golf probably in June, and then Phenom out in September. So they're all
It's a lot.
yeah,
It's
it
a
is a
lot.
lot, but we have a fantastic team that just they they've got it all under control. So
Oh,
it's
you do
great.
have a great team.
We
I've worked
do.
with a bunch of them, and
Yes.
they are. I even ran into some of the camp team at an expo, I believe, in Atlantic City, and really just
Yeah.
so friendly and so like just good natured and really just excited to work for the Girl Scouts. So it's been a pleasure.
Our camp team, they're special.
They
They
are
really are.
really
They
nice.
just, I mean, they just embrace it and love every minute of it, and it's great. And you can see it when you talk to them. You know, they're just so excited about it and inspired by our campers and just being there. It's lovely.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. So when you're not working and just wearing all the different hats that I'm sure a CEO has to wear and making sure that all, the fundraising is successful and obviously that the troops are growing and learning and doing all the things that, the opportunities are given to them. What do you like to do with your daughter in the area?
Sure. Well, of course, as you know, most of my free time is pretty much driven by her social schedule. So she dances. We spend a lot of time at dance. She's on a mini competition team, which is
Very nice.
very overwhelming right now because it's our first time doing it, but a lot of fun for her, and I know how much she enjoys it. CCD, this year's a communion year
Yeah, that's
coming
true.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a big one.
You got to find a venue like now. Did you
I
find
know.
one yet?
Well, the good thing is that at Girl Scouts we have a
Oh,
very
yeah,
nice space that I
yes.
can use for a large event. So that's
Going back and
always
forth.
helpful.
We
I
found
know.
2 venues. Everyone's
May.
it's like a
We
frenzy.
should have plenty of time, but
I know.
I
Did you
know.
book it? I'm like I don't know. And some things I'm very organized about. Some things I'm like it's next week and I have no idea what's happening.
But that seems so far away to even have to
Yes.
think about it now. But I know we do.
But yeah, my husband's like, "Did you book it?" I'm like, "I don't know. Should we just have it at the house?" Like it's a whole like, why is it like a wedding? It's like a wedding.
It's crazy.
It is. It's a lot. But
This time of year too is nice because we do all the New Jersey fall things, right? You know,
Yes.
go visit the farms. Loves to go pick out mums and flowers. Our trips to Barnes and Noble are great. Like we really enjoy those. We could spend hours in there. So
so
that's
much
really
fun.
nice.
I love
Yes.
that, especially in the winter. You can't be outside, so it's nice to just go and explore the books and try to. My daughter's very into Legos, so she's always hitting me
Yes.
up for the Legos.
Oh,
there.
I know. You can't get out of there without buying a toy of some sort. But it's great. And she just, they're at that age where they really did just learn how to become solid readers, right? So I
Yes.
love that she embraces it and wants to go and buy new books all the time and be reading. So
Yeah.
certainly can't argue with that.
No, you can't hurt at all.
And year round, if I could let her, she would go for ice cream every single night. So that is
Where
her
do you
thing.
like to go?
She's a big Sundays fan.
Oh, the one in
Point.
Seacor.
But actually, where I live, it's probably equidistant. It'd probably take me
see.
just as long. So depending on
interesting.
how it is, yeah. So she'd be the one out there in the freezing cold in the winter eating her chocolate ice cream.
We have Sundays in Madawan also on
Yes.
34, so we go to that one sometimes because we live right around the block. And I love Hoffman's in your area
Yeah,
too. So
Hoffman's great, too.
it's like one of my favorite things to do in the summer is go there. I think anyone that follows me on Monmouth Moms, I'm like always posting about Hoffman's. They're like, "Oh my gosh, Kate, stop
great.
posting everything you eat." I can go on and on. So, any favorite restaurants that you like to go to?
Yeah, there are quite a few ones. There's a really great one in Beacon 70. It's been
Oh,
a few different things, but just a
okay.
really fun atmosphere. Food's
They have
always
like a
good. So
really good, it's like a nice kids menu too, I've heard, right?
yes, they
Yeah,
do.
I've heard
Yeah,
about that.
that's a big thing too, right? Like finding a good place that your
Oh, yeah.
children also enjoy, and they
Yeah.
know they get it. They bring out their food first, and so
Yes.
they're content. The coloring pages, all
Yeah.
those TVs, things like that. So.
My daughter, like, if we say we're going to X place, she's like, oh, no, I'm going to go, here. And I'm like, who, like, okay. Like, I thought we were the adults, but I guess not. Our lives are dictated by where they want to go.
Of course, or like any diner, because if she could eat
Yes.
pancakes for dinner
Yes.
any night, she'd be happy with that too. So,
In Middletown, there's it's the Middletown Diner, I think it's called, or no, I think it's called the New Monmouth Diner, but we call it the Toy Diner because they give out
oh, they give
like
the little
like
treasure
dollar,
chest.
yeah. And so Grace has always called it the Toy Diner, so and then she loves their mac and cheese. It is very good though, so I never really complained about going
Yeah.
there.
I mean, that's the thing about the diner, any diner, right? Like, you
So
really can't
true.
go wrong no matter
No.
what you're feeling or craving. They have it for you any
do.
time of day. So,
Yeah, when I was pregnant, I like only could eat like three things without making me nauseous, and one of them was chicken soup from that diner. It's just
oh,
like
that's so funny.
so
I was the
good.
same. I was very limited. I feel like I ate a ton of peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I would make dinner and then not want to eat it. And then I'd just make myself
Like the
peanut butter
smell
and
is
jelly
just like,
sandwich.
yep,
Yeah.
nope, not going to do that. Oh my gosh. So tell us a little bit about how the Girl Scouts give back in the community, any initiatives and volunteer opportunities that, are brought to them by the organization.
Absolutely. I mean, that's really what all of our troops focus on, right? Just community service, giving back, making the world a better place. Always leaving someplace better than they found it is always kind of our motto, right? And that's something we believe in. So our troops are really just, whether it's going Christmas caroling to a nursing home during the holidays and putting a smile on their face. We have a holiday card contest, and one of our submissions was just that was their fondest troop memory, but it was COVID, so they couldn't go inside. So there's a picture of them standing in front of like the community room window, singing through the window to these people, and it really means so much to the senior citizens.
Yeah,
so
it's a really long day for them.
Yeah,
And just anything that can brighten their day.
absolutely. And for our younger girls too, getting them to realize that something like that is community service and giving back. It isn't necessarily like your manual labor, and which is great too, which we love to promote that. There we have girls that will go and plant a garden or help upkeep things and just painting, doing stuff in our own camp too, giving back to us. And then that way we can have it be even a more wonderful experience for our people coming. And then, we do try, again, all of our staff is very volunteer and service minded. And we're always looking for new volunteers in many different capacities, to help with our outreach programs at the schools where a traditional troop is just not feasible for them. So we do have staff go in and we hold kind of larger troop meetings for those girls where they don't have to worry about transportation to and from the troop meetings or even and we try to bring them out to camp over the summer when we can too, just to give them that experience. So we do look for volunteers that want to help us in various school districts, and it's just an hour of their time, and maybe it turns into more than that. We have different career opportunities too. We have a career day, so we
You
like
have
to
the
have
career
girls
fair, right?
to have them come in and talk to our girls and talk to them about their career path, or we had just talked to someone about like the detours. This is real life that our girls really need to hear about, and it's not just all the picture perfect stuff. And then we just launched the Mentoring Mondays program too. So once a month we're engaging a different professional in our community to come and talk to the girls. Really, we open it up to them about anything they want. They obviously want to touch on their career, but sometimes there's some personal things that they can talk to that our girls could really learn from. And we're learning too, our girls' interests are changing. They're not all necessarily looking to go to a university after graduation. We have girls interested in the military, girls interested in starting their own businesses and not going to college. And that's okay. And they need to hear that, I think, a little bit more.
Sure.
So just trying to foster as much growth as we can for these girls.
Oh, I love that. At what age do you start kind of immersing them in this program?
Sure. So we kind of group our older girls into 6th grade and above, but we are starting to put a a little more focus on kind of the high school girl ages, because we know that a sixth grader and a ninth grader are in very different places in their life and different thoughts about things. So trying to think a little bit more how we can kind of serve both groups, but in a different capacity that makes sense to them. Because talking to a sixth grader about, college applications and resumes is probably not really sinking in with them at that time.
Right. And there's probably even just so much more that, like as you continue to progress with this initiative, there's so much more that will kind of come to light with things that, the girls can become aware of. Like, even with my son, he's a freshman in college, and he came to me the other day and had a question about, he just got like his first student credit card, and he was asking about like credit, and like I said, you can't pay it late and this, and he like just had no, even like me as his mom, like I told him certain things, but there's so many things like you said about like just starting out early in life that aren't covered in high school, right?
It is, and I think some real life skills too, right? Like we have automotive badges. How many of us know how to change a tire, and we hope that we can call on someone else, right? But maybe you have no cell service or something, you know what I mean? You just need to get that tire changed, or, so it's just important stuff that we had to properly hang a picture on a wall, right?
I still can't do that. There's like
those 3M things
when we move, it's going to be like, sorry, Lou.
Right.
There's a lot of holes behind those pictures.
Life skills, they're really important.
Life skills,
they are, absolutely. And fortunately, financial badges are very big. They go hand in hand with kind of all of our entrepreneurship and the cookie sales. But so that is a big thing. Teaching girls, most of them I know have no idea what a checkbook is, but how to balance your bank account, right?
Sure.
And make sure that you're managing that properly, and what it means to accept a credit card offer, and how to make sure you're being fiscally responsible. So we try to teach them that too.
Yeah, I think
in a way that they can digest it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, is just like making sure that it's conveyed in a way that's not like so big that it just completely lost on them, right?
Right, because it gets scary and then they don't want to do it, right?
Yeah, I think we touched on it like in home ec when I was in sixth grade, and then it was never talked about again. So it's just crazy. So what's ahead this year or in 2023 for the Girl Scouts? Anything happening new?
Absolutely. We're always looking for new amenities, so to speak, new exciting things to bring to our Girl Scout camps. So we have a few things in the works there. Hopefully a little more high adventure for the older kids, and maybe some more, kind of water activities for our younger girls. We are trying to restart our Mariners and Trailblazers clubs. It's kind of a national Girl Scout thing that we're bringing back down, because we do have girls that just really love to explore nature, go on hikes, and learn about geocaching and things like that. And then, for the Mariners, doing a little bit more fun things than just canoeing, stand-up paddleboarding, looking into getting some sailing courses, surfing, things like that. So really just trying to make sure that Girl Scouts stays relevant. We know the world is always changing, and make sure that we are giving our girls what they need while we teach them what we know they need, right?
Wow.
So that's really, really important there. Really looking into our facilities and making sure that they're equipped to handle, again, what our girls need. And like I said, the mental health initiative is something that's really important. Just to me personally, I think it speaks volumes of what we need to do out there in the community. And like I said, just trying to find our voice and our place there, and making sure that we are there for our 11,000 members.
Wow, 11,000.
Yeah, and growing. So
growing.
That's great. Yes,
that's incredible. You mentioned earlier a new media group for the girls.
Yes, so we have a Media Girls initiative that I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher her title too. So our creative and marketing manager is overseeing. So just really getting our girls' voice in what we're putting out there, and getting their input, because again, we like to think that we have a handle on what they want to hear, how they want to hear it, things like that. We're not all well versed in TikTok or Snapchat or things like that, and just kind of getting their feedback. Also, our newsletters that go out, it would be great to have a girl's article in there and have their voice be heard, because it is really important, and it's something that is obviously very popular right now. And having our girls, we have an older Girl Scout that has her own vlog, and it's incredible, and she could definitely teach me quite a few things. So we like to learn from them, and also help give them the skills they have the basics, but how we can help them to grow that into something more. So
Yeah, there's
it's
a lot.
exciting.
It's here to stay, obviously.
It is, yeah.
But there's a lot of responsibility that comes with it, and
Yes.
and there's also a lot of good that can be done with it. So I think really, just kind of driving that message home
Absolutely.
is really important because there's a lot that could be done with it.
Absolutely. And, too, teaching them how to stay on brand in all that they're doing. Social media can be a slippery slope. So you have to make sure that you're just checking all the boxes.
Yeah, for sure. So you are, you've had an incredible career. You're doing amazing things in the community. Thank you for just spearheading this organization and the opportunities that you're giving young women, including my daughter, in our area. What would you say to a young woman now who maybe was a Girl Scout and isn't really sure about what her career path would be, or anyone that would be thinking about taking a leadership role such as yours in an organization?
Absolutely. Well, for someone who is unsure, I would just say don't be afraid to take chances. You don't know until you try it, and don't be afraid of what anyone else thinks. Really just follow your gut and your instincts and
Be yourself.
be yourself and do what you love, right? Because what's the worst thing? We've all had it, right? Some job that we just
Oh, yes.
we're just miserable waking up and going to every day, and it's so important. So just be true to yourself. And in terms of leadership, I think the same thing. Really, just be true to yourself and understand that leadership isn't. It's more than just like the management of things. It's really encouraging your staff and creating an environment where people are empowered and inspired to be themselves and do what their true selves are feeling, and then it all kind of comes together and falls into place. It's really incredible when it does. And you see like all the lights going off at once,
And
right?
letting people grow and be in their role, right? And letting them run with what they're capable of is incredible.
Absolutely. Inviting people to the table. No one wants to eat alone all the time, right?
Right. Oh, yes. Yeah. It's good.
It is
Delegate.
important. Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for
thank you for having
joining
me.
us. Where can we find the Girl Scouts of the Jersey Shore? What's the website?
Sure, this one's nice and easy too. It's gsfun.org, so
Nice.
like girlscoutfun.org.
And then on Instagram, it's there's the camp Sacagawea. You can find in Amity Acres as well.
Absolutely.
And then the
And
Girl
if you find the Girl Scouts JS, that'll lead
Yeah,
you to the rest
right,
of them too.
right,
So
perfect.
yes.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you
And
for having me. I appreciate it. It's
Yeah.
a great conversation.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you.
So up next we have upcoming next is our event, the Monmouth Moms Holiday Festival. It is on December 4th. And also make sure to check out our holiday catering guide, our holiday gift guide coming soon, and we have a holiday fun guide coming out as well. So lots happening on the monmouthmoms.com. Make sure to check that out, and all new local events, activities, resources happening, to make sure to visit our calendar and stay tuned for more happening this season.
Great. Sounds fun.